Well, let's cross to oil markets now. And European Union diplomats say they've reached a provisional agreement among its member states to put a price cap on Russian oil of $60 a barrel. Now, this is significantly less than the current market price, which has been hovering between $80 and $90. The objective of all this is to penalise the Kremlin for its invasion of Ukraine, but at the same time keeping supplies flowing to the rest of the world. The finer details are still up in the air, but the provisional agreement does set a backdrop for a separate meeting of the cartel of oil producers, OPEC, which is taking place on Sunday. Russia is a leading member of that cartel, and its leadership could decide to cut their production to raise prices once again. Well, who can unpack this for us? Only the great economist and energy analyst Cornelia Meyer. Cornelia, thanks very much for being with us. Let's talk first of all about the EU's price cap. This has been a long time in development, a long time being talked about. $60 a barrel is a provisional agreement. Is that it now, or are there more hurdles to it actually becoming effective?
Well, all of the nations need to agree. So if they agree on $60, that will be it. But what we have to look at, Europe will stop importing Russian oil on December 5, on next Monday. So this applies to countries like Turkey, India, China, who've been buying the crude. And the reason to make it appealing to them to go with the cap is that they say, OK, Russian cargoes can get Western insurance, they can get Western financing and shipping. But what we see is for those countries, especially India and China, there are larger issues at stake, because there is also that relationship with Russia that they don't want to really hurt. So it is difficult for them, and Russia has come up with alternate, lesser insurance solutions via one of their reinsurers. So we will have to see how it all pans out in the end.
Indeed. And with OPEC meeting on Sunday, briefly, do you think they could cut production as a result of this, or for any other reasons?
Well, I think oil prices have come up quite a bit. And actually, if you look at the huge discounts the Indians and the Chinese have negotiated with the Russians, they're somewhere between 50 and 60. So it doesn't really hit that much. If anything, it will not cut production, because what we've seen this month, so what we've seen in November, is that there's been more Russian oil going out because countries like Italy and Holland have been buying a lot of Russian crude ahead of not being allowed to do so anymore. So there's less crude on the market. So I think my guess is, but it will depend on how ministers feel, that they will hold it as is.
Cornelia Meyer, there we'll have to leave it. Thank you very much for joining us from Bern today. Well, we're